finds it here for the Warriors, gets away from a check, centered it out in front, off the benches, Todd, bumped to the line, Jutting a shot, he scores!
Back on Shaw TV with Warriors defenseman Tyler Jutting. And Tyler, you come into this season, second year as a Warrior defender. What's the transition been like for you this year compared to last year? Obviously coming into the Warriors halfway through last year, seems like this year's been a little bit more of a comfortable experience for you.
Yeah, I'd say my role's definitely changed a little bit. I've got more ice and kind of playing a more defensive role and kind of helping the team out and making sure that we shut down those top lines.
Coming into this year, you got a commitment to Air Force as well from last year, the Air Force Academy in the States. What did it mean to you last year to commit into that kind of a program? Obviously a prestigious one in the United States and something that seems pretty exciting for you.
Yeah, it means a lot. I'm super excited about it. I was thrilled when I started to hear from them for the first time, and was fortunate enough to take a trip down there and visit the school and just loved everything that I saw about it, and super excited to get there next year.
What was it about picking the college route that made something exciting for you? Obviously, players go through a bit of a process trying to figure out which schools to go to and get to visit certain schools, but what was that like for you, that experience to kind of narrow down a college? Was it a bit nerve-wracking at some points?
Yeah, definitely nerve-wracking. I mean, sometimes you think, am I ever even going to get one? But once you finally get that commit, it's great to have that off your chest. But education was a huge priority for me, and obviously it's a great school down there at Air Force Academy, and there's a lot of other intangible things that you get out of an education there, so super excited for that.
Mankato, Minnesota native, coming up to play junior hockey in Canada. What's that experience like been for you, especially when you came in for the first time last year? And did you really spend a whole lot of time in Canada before you came up to West Kelowna last year?
I hadn't spent a lot of time in Canada. I'd been a couple times for some hockey tournaments actually, but never been to the west side of Canada out in BC here, and it's beautiful out here compared to Minnesota. Minnesota's pretty flat. But yeah, it's been great out here. I love it. It's been a great experience, and I'm really glad I came.
What's the biggest difference between playing hockey in the U.S. compared to playing hockey in Canada?
I'd say in Canada it's a little bit more physical up here. Some bigger guys, there's a lot more people trying to make skilled plays, I guess, in the U.S. than up in Canada here.
Your team's been off to a pretty good roll so far this year. Tough interior division to play against. What's it been like playing inside of an interior division that's got the likes of Penticton, Wenatchee, Vernon? Trail this year's been very good. It seems like there's no night in this league that you could take a night off on.
Absolutely. I love this division. I'd say without a doubt it's the best division in the league. All the teams are great, obviously, and every single night you got to be ready to go. We talk about it in the locker room every game to try and be a first 10-minute team and win the first 10 minutes, and it makes a big difference. And these teams are great this year, and for us to have success, we have to win that first 10 minutes.
Playing Penticton obviously is a big game. We've talked to many Warrior players about it before, but what does it mean to you? A guy that didn't come in at the beginning of the year last year, came in halfway through the year, but still, did you feel right away in your first game against the V's that this is a rivalry that has been a strong one over the last few years?
You pick it up really quick. You pick it up real fast. Penticton's always, we really want to beat those guys. There's always a lot of tension and stuff going into those games, and we absolutely do not want to lose to those guys. So.
Teddy Bear Toss, obviously going on here tonight. You are a defenseman. You don't score a whole lot of goals, but what does the Teddy Bear Toss mean to you? You were through the one last year here in West Kelowna. Braden Epp scored a pretty nice goal against Powell River last year. So what does Teddy Bear Toss mean to you?
It's a fun night. A lot going on, a lot of talk in the locker room, a lot of chirping going on, but hopefully we'll get that first one right away, and it'll be a good night.
This season has been a strong one for this team, as mentioned. What's it been about for this team this year? That it seems like these guys have really bonded together and played some pretty good hockey over the course of the season.
Yeah, we've come together real well, I think. A lot of it's, we've really been focusing on our forecheck, and we really focus on trying to be a first out team in the D zone. And a lot of it's, we've been working on this stuff in practice and everything, and it's just coming together and just really playing for the guy next year.
This season for this team, as mentioned here at home ice, it's definitely been a big honor. 11 wins so far on home ice this year, and it seems like whatever the Warriors step out at Royal LePage Place, it's a more confident team. It's a team that can beat anybody in this league. Have you seen that as well?
Absolutely. I mean, we take pride in playing at home. That's a big deal. Rylan talks about that. Jared talks about that a lot in the locker room. And it means a lot to us, and we want to win at home. Obviously, we want to win every night, but it's more special and more important, I guess, to win these home games.
I want to ask you personally, growing up in Minnesota, obviously is a hockey hotbed in the U.S., but did you have any idols growing up in Minnesota? Anybody that you kind of try to play like in your game?
Well, I wouldn't play like this guy, but Zach Parisi, I've heard a lot of stuff about him. Great guy, works his butt off. Lot to look up to that guy. Suter, obviously, Suter on the Wild's a great defenseman. Kind of try to model my game after him.
Is that what you're kind of trying to model? Is that as a big shutdown defenseman? Obviously, you're a big boy, so is that kind of the role that you're trying to go after, especially coming up here where you mentioned there's bigger guys and you can play a more physical role?
Yeah, that's absolutely my role. I'd say I've talked with the coaches and everything, and then I feel myself that that's my role, and I like to try and shut down the other team's offense, and if I'm able to chip in offensively as well, it's just a plus.
December, obviously a big month for this team and a big month going down the stretch as well with 2 months remaining. Is this an exciting time for players that it starts to pick up here where the playoffs are around the corner and the games are getting even tougher?
Yeah, it's real exciting. The points are really important right now. See, that's what kind of you get as a second-year guy. You kind of see it. That's what we talk to the rookies about. But all these games, all these points, they matter a lot down the stretch. And winning these games now will matter big time come the end of the season.
Lastly now, what's your #1 thing on your Christmas wish list this year?
Christmas wish list. I don't know. I don't really need much this year, I guess.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah,
On
thanks.
the glove side, and the Warriors lead it 7-1.